Hey everyone, the new Hope Tree update is here and apparently some of the nodes, or rather most of the right side nodes have been updated. This wasn't announced anywhere nor leaked to me personally, so I had no idea this would happen. So for now I'm going to go over every single position blessing from 1 to 5. The synergy mark, as we know it, previous season did not work. But as of this season, I think it actually works. I think they have fixed it, but I only tested it for a bit. I couldn't really mimic the results of the previous season. Maybe it's because of the lack of hunters and the lack of survival. Maybe a bit later in the season we will actually notice the differences. But as I mentioned, I'm going to go over each position first, what are its perks and cons, and which side you should go on. So starting off, we have position blessing 1. In this position, the change was done to the previous banish tree. So this side of the hope tree used to banish one random enemy for 5 rounds every 200 energy consumed. Now what it does is it consumes 150 energy to dispel 20 stacks of buffs from all enemies and purify 20 stacks of debuffs and control effects from all allies. And if we go to the overview and see the max preview, so it says consume 150 energy, stays the same to basically do 100 over 20. So this is actually a really unique effect, I would say. This is basically La Chassis. Unfortunately, at the current state of the game, there's a lot of new heroes that have buffs and debuffs that are not purifiable. For example, Tsuki's attack reduction, you can't really purify that. Your heroes will hit the 0 damage at 10th round. It's just not really possible to negate that or purify that. The same goes for the Lilith scaling. You can't really cleanse the buffs from the opponent, so there's plenty of heroes that have uncleansable buffs, and it's mostly the newer heroes. They code them that way, so the Purify, or rather the two Celestials, and with Unique, or rather the Hindrance, don't really affect them. I can sort of understand this because the two Celestials Purify is kind of annoying and broken, and so is the Celestial Rune Synergy Unique, which does apply Hindrance, which means you cannot receive buffs for the whole round. So should you actually build this side? I think it's unique and I think it could have unique usefulness in the PvP later on. As of PvE right now, you don't really care about it, you don't really need it, and in previous season the AoE healing was actually really nice to stack up your hunters, but since this time around we don't have hunters that convert the healing into the stats, this is pretty useless in my opinion. So the right side of this tree is useless for you. You will want to put 3 points into energy on action so you can have some sort of energy gain for the other 4 positions. As for the HP, only start going the HP route when you actually finish PvE, such as Rift Odyssey Extreme or Rift Odyssey Hell, depending on which stage of the game you are at right now. But yeah, as I said, this is only when you start going PvP, as well as the right side. As I mentioned, I do think this could have potential, but 150 energy is a lot. Maybe if it was 100 energy, I could see it, but 150 getting there will be really hard to get, especially in the Foggy Colosseum, which you only can play 3 to 4 heroes for the first 4 teams. So Grace of Gaze is pretty unique, but also hard to pull off in my opinion. For the early stage, you only really need 3 points in the energy node in the position 1, and we can move to the position 2. Position 2 left side node is completely same as the position 1, but it's on position 2 basically. But let's go over the right side. So the Grace of Claw, which used to remove enemy holy shields, now actually applies holy shields each round to you. Now this is very interesting and I really do quite like this, especially if it works in the Foggy Colosseum 3 and 4. Maybe it's coded in a way that it will apply the holy shields irrelevant of the rules. But of course there's a lot of testing to be done before that happens, but yeah, it's something to consider. So at the start of each round, consume 20 energy to apply 1 stack of holy shields to all allies. When is this useful? So if you're a beginner that is actually struggling with survival, especially against the Dooms and the Mystifiers and Phantom teams in Rift Odyssey, which is like the most common thing for newbies or rather the beginners, you should get this. You should get this up to 40 energy in my opinion. So you should do something like this. If you're a beginner that is struggling with survival, you should absolutely do something like this. and leave it at that. So this will consume 40 energy each round to apply 2 holy shields to your team. Why not go further, you may be asking? Well, if we go to the further, we will see that it consumes 100 energy to apply 5 stacks. This is not really good because generating 100 energy will be tougher than generating 40 energy, so you will be eventually losing out on the holy shields rather than gaining them. If this was actually 10 stacks, I would maybe consider it, but since it's only 5, you're better off at leaving this Grace of Claw at only level 1 or level 2 if you do need one additional stack of Holy Shield. This is, as I mentioned, only unique to the beginners because they do truly lack with survival, and if you're someone who has Elmer or Ra or Banner, you are not really going to need this. So if you're someone that has them, you're going to put another 3 points into energy on action on the left side and then move on to the other side because the rest of these upgrades don't really matter for you. As I said, this is only unique for the beginners to help them survive in the early game, but I'm not sold out that it will be used in the PvP because holy shields are really easy to play around with and really easy to counter, especially you will see at the position number 5. So I went up and reset my position number 2 so I can put out the 3 points in the position number 2 for the 3 energy points to match with my position number 1. We move on to the position blessing number 3, which used to be the most broken blessing in the game by far for a year and a bit more. This used to be Hunters. Hunters used to convert the healing into additional stats such as attack, HP and defense. It used to convert up to 80 million stats, or rather up to 80 million attack, HP and defense, which was really huge, and it made a lot of flat stuff such as Fenrir irrelevant. Because we did lose those flat stats, maybe Fenrir is back or Hecate. I did not really test them yet, it's a bit too early, and the World Arena only starts in 30 minutes. This will be posted when it's already started, but yeah, I'm recording this 30 minutes before the reset, so there's no World Arena to test it yet, but maybe the flat hero stackers are back, we will see what happens. But Grace of Hunters basically used to be the most broken upgrade, and what it turned to is every 20 energy increase the damage boost of all allies by 10. I really do like this. I think I like this more than the Hunters. So if you go to the max level preview, we will see that every 20 energy increase the damage boost of all allies by 30%. This may not seem a lot, but it really is a lot because you can basically get 300% damage boost, and you can start stacking it back if you go to the 0 energy again, and doesn't really remove the damage boost. I'm not really sure if it works that way, but if it does, it's really insane. And even if it doesn't, it's still really strong because 300% damage boost to all allies is 1/3 of a Gaia to your team. Another big change is AoE Sharp Blade, which now has accuracy, so all of your allies gain 50% accuracy. This is really insane because additional accuracy I really do like and appreciate, because I do hate facing RNG when it comes to dodge, and dodge with the ape mixed is really annoying PvP combo, so I'm hoping the dodge becomes way less noticeable and there's more of a guaranteed win, if I can say that in the meta ape, which I can't, but yeah, at least we got rid of the dodge. So anyway, to move back to the topic, so you will basically want this maxed. You will definitely want this maxed because this damage boost is insane. You will also want the Sharp Blade 5 maxed at the later stages for the PvP, and even potentially Sharp Blade for the hero in position 3. So you will play a hero that is reliant on hitting, and he will have basically 100% accuracy, if that's really true accuracy, but yeah, in theory, hero will have 100% accuracy. So for the position 3, what should you do? You should definitely upgrade these two, moving on like this, putting 2 points so you can just safely move to the Grace of Hunters and upgrade it. I will stop at 3 because we don't currently have enough Azure Beads to move further, or rather to max it. Position 3 left side is really iffy. It only buffs the hero in position 3. So yeah, not something you really want to have. It's really whatever, especially because this buff is lesser than this buff. So position 3 is always going to be right side. You can never really go wrong with this, especially not if you max it out later. So you can safely assume this is always going to be the right path. Position blessing 4, this used to be Grace of Shadows, which basically upon dodge, and you would basically use your own ultimate and stun all enemies. I really dislike that because I hated the RNG stun and RNG on the ultimates, even though it was slightly better for heroes like Cleopatra or Eudora in position 1 or Hades in position 1, because once they dodge and use their ultimate, that was a really pretty big move to do. However, the newest Grace of Shadow I really do like as well. So when taking damage, consume 50 energy to negate the damage and convert 10% of it into attack up to 60% of the team's average max HP each time. I really do like this. I really do like it at the max stat as well, and you will need this in the some of the Rift Odyssey stages. Not all of them, but some of them. I did notice they helped me, especially in the boss stages such as Extreme 50 and Extreme 100. For the position 4, you won't really like, or rather, you won't really need the left side ever unless you need energy on action, which you don't need, so you will always pretty much use the same setup you used on the position number 3, which is going 2, 2, and then going 3 for the stats, and stopping there for now. I'm very likely going to run this permanently, even in PvP and PvE till the end of the season. I can never really see myself going for the left side. Position blessing number 5. Now this, I'm not really sure if what this even did, even if it worked. It was the fountain, which it blessed position number 5 unit, but it actually blessed position number 4 unit, and it was a complete train wreck and absolute nightmare. It wasn't, nobody really took it, only if they were memeing and trying for fun if it actually works, which it never really worked. It was absolute useless garbage, and now it got a rework. So now you can reduce enemy energy gain rate by 10% after each allied attack, additionally reduce enemy energy by 2. This is really interesting, and I think this could work in PvP to be annoying as hell. I do think it's a bit niche, and I do think it counters a lot of energy nodes, such as the shadows we just went over with. You basically won't allow enemy to gain energy, so they will never actually stack up or block your damage or convert the energy into damage. So position number 5 for the right side for the PvP might be the best option to take to basically negate the energy gain from the enemies. I do think it's really OP, and I do think it's fun, especially compared to what it was before, so it definitely allows more flexibility and more things to try out in the World Arena tomorrow. As for the AoE Sharpblade, you will also want this if you're going for the Grace of Elysian, so increase 20% damage to all allies is nice, but not amazing, but still you will want it nonetheless. However, if going for the PvE route, you're definitely going to be doing this. We will put 2 energy and action on this, and now with the 3 on the position 1 and 3 on the position 2, and with the number 5 on the 2 upgrades, you will basically be making 40 energy each round. What does that mean? You will be able to trigger the Grace of Hunters and convert the energy into damage and basically gain 50% damage boost to all allies every round. Another amazing thing about position 5 left side is the fact that you gain the damage boost on the position number 5, which is absolutely insanely strong, especially compared to what the Grace of Hunters gives. It's pretty much the same buff, only to the position 5 member. So you will also want to upgrade that as well. What's the correct priority? Well, the correct priority, there's none, in my opinion. You will want all of the nodes I mentioned. Obviously, the energy nodes take the least priority, and I would say the damage boost node takes the highest priority. If you're already getting the damage boost, you're also getting the energy on action, so it's a double victory going position 5 left side. After that, you can start working on the Grace of Hunters to have some type of damage increase from your energy on action on position 5, and then you can put some energy points into position 1 and 2 to gain even more damage from your Grace of Hunters. Then you will start putting some points into the position 4 right side to gain some additional attack and some additional survivability. When will this fail? I think this will fail when you go to the right side on position 2, but that's mostly left up to you to min-max if you're in such stage. You can give up either on position 3 or position 4. In my opinion, give up on position 4 because I do think the position 3 kind of buffs more, but I could be wrong on that as well. You will basically want to run position 3 and 4 all of the times anyway, and position 2, as I said, only if you truly lack the survival. As I mentioned, the synergy marks, I do think they're working this season, but I can't prove it yet, maybe a bit later into the season. As for the position blessing extra, this also got reworked, so now at the start of the battle, randomly selects one allied hero to duplicate and summon as a spirit hero. Spirit hero inherits 100% of the original hero's base stats and has a revival effect, revives at the start of each round with 100% of the HP. This is a bit tricky. I don't think this is going to work because of some heroes like Shang, Wu Zetian, Aphrodite, and Lancelot. However, I do think that also at the same time, all of these heroes kind of benefit from it. Especially heroes like Narissa, Aphrodite, and Leandra. They benefit from this hero resummoning every time. They benefit from this hero dying every time, and I'm not going to be shocked if this hero just dies every time, because that's very likely going to be its purpose, and you can also gain some Magatama value out of it. Even though Magatama will not deal exceptional damage, it will still trigger heroes like Narissa and Aphrodite, or Leandra, or Shang, or Pandora. So I do think that exposition has a potential in the PvP, and in the PvE, the only scenario that I could imagine is going into a Rift Odyssey fight and you copy a Cleopatra, Hela, or Trupus, and they basically stuck their pledges. That's the only case scenario where I could see this being good, but apart from that, I am not really seeing how it could affect your clears or be really useful. So extra position remains to be tested and remains to have some potential in the PvP, not really in the PvE. So to recap, start off with position number 5, give some points into it, then move to the position number 3, get some of the hunter's value, move on to position 1 and 2, gain some energy, and then start on position number 4. All of these points don't have to be the exact as I did them, just put few points so you can basically start the node and gain some benefits out of it instantly. And that's really it for today's Hope Tree video. The Hope Tree was reworked, but in a way it's still the same Hope Tree. You're still running the left side in position 5, which you did as before, and pretty much every single position is the same as before, although the effects are different. And I do appreciate that the effects are different because now we got more accuracy, we got rid of the irrelevant random dodge that was messing up the fights, and yeah, I really dislike that. I really liked Hunters, but I do think that this Hunters version is better and has more potential, and definitely more usability out of the Grace of Claw, definitely potential usability of Grace of Gaze, as well as the extra synergy and position 5 synergy. So overall, I really do like the Hope Tree changes, and we will see how it goes in the future. I will maybe make an updated video when I test all of them, and when there's more players testing it and having fun with it. So up for now, as I mentioned, position 5, position 3 energy nodes, and position 4. That's basically enough to get you through the most of the PvE content, such as Tombs, Primeval Realm, and Rift Odyssey. See you in the next one.